Wondering with the power on the truck, it's got a V8. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing a 2022 Nissan Titan XD with the Platinum Reserve package. First and foremost, though, I do want to mention, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get right into the video. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 5.6 liter V8 that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 400 horsepower and then 413 pound-feet of torque. Now this isn't rated by the EPA from a fuel economy standpoint, but I'll show you guys a little bit later what I have been averaging. Now let's go over the front end of the Titan XD. So first off, you guys can see here in the center of the hood, notice how it's just like flat, and then it kind of pops down here off the side and then pops back up. Kind of like a signature thing with the Titan, definitely looks cool. And then notice here with the silver trim all around the grille, and that orange you guys are seeing is marker lights. Yes, this does in fact have marker lights. You can see there in the front grille and then also off to the side as well. And then notice the daytime running lights here with the headlights. Definitely has a cool appearance to it. Got the fog lights down below, parking sensors here on the front end. We have tow hooks, very important. And then notice here, we've got an air dam at the very bottom. That's to help out with fuel economy, but obviously does decrease ground clearance and approach angle. But other than that, there's the front end. Now coming on the side here, we've got two 65mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see from a design perspective with the wheel itself, notice how we have the silver here on the top, and that's kind of like dark metallic gray below that. It looks pretty good overall. Now here's a quick look at the front suspension, and they do beef up the suspension quite a bit for the XD so that this is better with towing. And they also beef up the frame as well, which is pretty cool. Here's our V8 Endurance badge. We got our Titan XD badge. And then this one has the trailer mirrors. Notice we got the fixed side steps as well, chrome on the door handles. And if we take a few steps back, here's our full side view on the truck. And you can see it's actually pretty big from a size perspective. Bed is as well. Then, popping here to the rear, you can see we've got the leaf springs. Sorry about my shadow. Leaf springs here in the rear. And then also you can see the shock there in the back as well. So here's our key fob. We have the Nissan logo, remote start. We've got the lock function and the unlock function as well. And if we actually pop here into the rear, notice it'll slow lower down. 1,690 pounds of payload capacity, and notice it's already protected from the factory, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, we're actually going to jump in the bed. This is a nice thing about getting demos from manufacturers, is I can climb all over the vehicle. You guys can see that under the little cap. Now we have these little boxes back here. So they have a little lock function, but you can open up. It's a little bit dirty, but storage space, and looks like it has some drains as well. And then we have our cargo tie downs. So yeah, super practical bed overall. Got the cargo light there at the top. And then there's also a handle. Ooh, that was fun. But you guys can see you got that little handle to help with getting in and out. And there's a bumper step as well. So if you're not as limber as me, then, well, you got that whole setup to use. Now finishing things up with the rear, let's quickly talk about the towing capacity. So 10,920 pounds with a bumper pull, 11,060 pounds with a gooseneck setup. So really capable from that perspective. Notice here with the LED lights, parking sensors on the bottom, obviously Titan XD badge, Platinum Reserve here on the other side, 4x4. Receiver hitch down below. We already talked about the bumper step. And you guys are probably wondering with the exhaust tip poking out the side there. And there's the rear. Now popping into the interior here, you can see with the door panel actually very nicely appointed. Notice the wood trim down below. And here's the seat for the rear. Now it's got that like cowhide texture, but then it's like smoother here in the center. And look at all the perforations on the quilted design. And then notice here with a little plaque. Got a grab handle and side steps to help with getting in and out. Notice legroom. And then headroom. Got this little storage pocket here. Got some cup holders. Notice we have heated seats for the rear. We've got some charging ports on top of that. And we have our cup holder armrest set up as well. Let's head to the front. Now here's the front door panel. As you can see, again, really nicely appointed from a material standpoint. Front two windows are automatic. You've got your mirror adjustment here. Again, we've got blind spot monitoring here. We've got the trailer tow mirrors that come with the truck. And then notice here with the memory seat function, Fender sound system, Platinum Reserve. And then here's the front seat again, got that cowhide texture. Platinum Reserve down below. Really nice looking seats overall, I think. Power adjustments there on the side. Pedal layout down below. Got your hood latch release for the cargo light, and then for the outlet, turn that on. And then you guys can see here with the light controls, and then notice the fog light, and then look at the wood trim that goes across. Steering wheel is power adjustable. Let's pop in. Now here's the steering wheel with the Titan. You guys can see the material use all around, and then notice the stitching there on the center portion. It's like double stitching, kind of interesting. Does have adaptive cruise control, really seamless system. And then you guys can see here with the volume voice command controls, turn signal, windshield wiper stalk, and then we have the column shifter notice with the tow haul mode, and then you've got the manual shift function with that as well if you guys want to press in for the tow haul mode. And, well, there's the steering wheel. So here is the gauge cluster with the Titan XD. It's analog on either side, then the screen there in the center. You guys can see the average fuel economy rating with the truck so far. Mixed highway and city. Apparently someone in this truck was able to get 16 miles per gallon. I'm not exactly sure. One thing I want to mention is in the regular Titan, I was able to get, not an XD version, but like a Pro 4X, I was able to get like 18 miles per gallon. So there is definitely a difference here. But you can scroll through a bunch of different menus, including the off-road stuff. So this means we have to take it off-road if it has that on it. But yeah, other than that, well, that's the center. Now here's the infotainment system. First off, we're gonna pop into reverse. You guys can see you've got the backup camera with trajectory lines. They do turn with the steering wheel, bird's eye view. And on top of that, you can see with the front camera view, so it has a full 360 camera system. And then side view as well, which definitely helps out. Now as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's easy to use. Response time with the screen is fantastic. Response time with the buttons, as you can see, great. And then you have the analog controls there at the bottom that help out, little shortcut buttons, all that. And so yeah, overall, great system. Dual zone climate controls. And then down below that, you can see with the stability control, parking sensors, hazard light button, that's for the safety tech, heated steering wheel. Trailer brake controls already integrated, got some USBs. I love the function for the heated cooled seats. I know it doesn't look like much, but I'm glad that like you just set it to something and then it just stays that way. So like every time I get in the truck, automatically turned on. So pretty cool. We've got a drive line select, so notice we have 4-wheel high as well as 4-wheel low. It's a really easy system to use. You basically just pop it over, and then for 4-wheel low, you're going to want to be in neutral just like other trucks, and then you obviously push in to go over. So yeah, overall, cool system. Now we have an interesting center console set up here. You guys can see this little thing that you can pull out, and then when I have it in, you can put it in. It basically just holds your phones. Couple cup holders. We have our Platinum Reserve logo here on the top of the center console. And then notice with the storage space there and my crappy old wallet. Nice stitching there on the top though. And then look at the dash, again with the brown, and then brown stitching here. And then you actually have some padding here on the top. And then again, Platinum Reserve. Pretty normal glove box set up right there. And then finishing things up top here, we do have a panoramic sunroof. And then notice the controls here for the sunroof, and then power sliding rear window. Sunglass holder as well, and then darker colored headliner. So here's our window sticker for the XD. So first off, you guys can see the standard equipment right here. And then notice here with the safety equipment, notice almost everything is standard. So if you guys want to read through everything, then feel free to freeze frame. I do want to mention here, and it says right there, America's best truck warranty, 5-year, 100,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty, which is just fantastic. Now I do have some options on this particular truck, including the Platinum Utility Package, but the big thing I want to focus on is the off-road protection package. Nissan, you put off-road on the window sticker. That means we have to take it off-road now. But anyways, $68,735 is the total MSRP. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility of the hood. Both the mirrors, they do blind spot monitoring. Run throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So, setting off here in the Nissan Titan XD. And it's been quite some time since I've reviewed a Titan, actually. And so it was a nice refresher driving this around. And just so you guys know, with these press fleet vehicles, I drive them around for quite a bit before I do any sort of review with the vehicle, just so I can give you guys more in-depth driving impressions. So first off, we're gonna go over the train tracks, and then I'm gonna talk about what this truck is like to daily drive. And some of it might surprise you, some of it might not. But let's see how the damping is. Oh! So, hit it kind of hard on the side. Did a pretty good job though. Then I hit the bump stop though, definitely felt it. This isn't as good at absorbing things as the standard Titan is. So if you're looking for, you know, comfort over big bumps, then the XD is not the truck for you. But something to mention, when you're just cruising down the road, this truck is very smooth. I know it seems like counterintuitive, like, oh, it doesn't do a great job going over bumps, but on regular pavement it's smooth. Yes, that's exactly what happens with this truck. I don't know what Nissan's done, but it feels like a luxury vehicle from a ride quality perspective when you're just on regular smooth pavement. It doesn't feel, you know, quite as aggressive and abrasive as what you get from a ride quality standpoint with a regular or traditional heavy duty truck like a, you know, Ford F-250, for example. And then aside from that, you guys are probably wondering, with the power on the truck, it's got a V8. What more can you ask for? Now this does feel slower than a regular Titan. It is a bigger vehicle, so it makes sense. But yeah, it definitely feels slower. But the thing that's cool about the Titan is it gets really good grip, even in two-wheel drive. It's a cool thing about this truck. But yeah, the acceleration's adequate. I mean, for a full-size truck, it's definitely right where it needs to be. Steering, right? Definitely a cool system with the Titan. It doesn't use like a modern steering system like most other trucks, and so it, you know, it's a little bit heavier than other trucks, but I like it. I like how it feels. But this almost feels lighter than a regular Titan, so I'm wondering if they've like tuned the steering different on the XD, because it does feel a little bit lighter. Seat comfort's great. Cooled seat function, fantastic as well. So all of that is a big plus. Sound system, the Fender sound system. Fender doesn't necessarily have like a super solid name like, you know, other sound systems you hear in other vehicles like Bang & Olufsen and Bose and, you know, so on and so forth. But what I can tell you about the Fender sound system is it's super solid. Sound quality is really like nice and crisp. It's got decent bass, and, you know, I think it's a solid stock sound system. And then we already talked about fuel economy. So again, if you get a regular Titan, you're gonna get like 4 miles per gallon better than this. So yeah, you do give up on fuel economy with the XD, and we're gonna see how it goes over these train tracks. Ugh, definitely hits harder than the regular Titan, I can tell you that right now. So, summing things up with the XD. First off, it looks like a Titan on the outside, except bigger, because it is bigger, right? It's got different frame, frankly. It's got different springs. Everything's different here on this truck. So yeah, it's just a bigger vehicle overall, and you feel it. Getting into parking spaces and all that is not necessarily the easiest because it's got a longer bed, and it's just a bigger vehicle overall. So just kind of understand that you're gonna have to deal with big truck things with this big truck. Who would have thought? And then, you know, other stuff with the truck. Gas mileage, like I said, it's okay. I mean, there's other, you know, half-ton trucks. Again, this is a heavy half-ton. It's in this weird segment of its own that get similar fuel economy numbers to this. So I'm not going to gripe too much on the fuel economy. It's within range for what it is, at least. So who would buy this truck? Here's the deal. Toyota doesn't have a V8 in their truck anymore. So that's the first set of consumers. If you want a super reliable, with a super good warranty, Japanese made truck, then Titan is the route to go at this point. Now, I'm not just gonna flat out say that the new Tundra is just completely unreliable, but this is a much more simplistic truck, especially from an engine perspective, right? It doesn't have a bunch of turbochargers and all that kind of stuff. It's just a big old Nachi aspirated V8. And so this really is the modern Toyota Tundra. If Toyota had instead put a V8 in the modern Tundra and then put a modern transmission, that's basically what this is. So if you want a modern Tundra, that's kind of what the Titan gives you. Now, in terms of the XD, it's kind of weird because some half tons tow about this much, and some half tons have about the same payload capacity as this. But again, if you want that Japanese reliability and you want a little bit more capability from a towing and payload capacity perspective, that's what the XD gives you. It is definitely a niche vehicle. But yeah, I definitely, like I said, I see a use for it. If you're a Titan fan and you want more towing, that's what this gives you. But I will say, if you want a more well-rounded truck, the regular Titan's the route to go. Better fuel economy, better ride quality, and easier to park. So it's just a better all-around vehicle. The only benefit of this is the towing and payload. So if you don't use the towing and payload, just get a regular Titan. That's going to sum things up for our video on this 2022 Nissan Titan XD with the Platinum Reserve package. Again, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. I'll see all of you in the next video.